Hey Ottings, it's your Ate Sapphire. Don't click ahead yet because I have a few announcements to share with you before we get into this week's story. I am heading to VidCon this year. I will have a booth on the show floor where we'll be giving away pins, shirts, and posters. And I'll also have an official meet and greet, so make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram to be notified of when I'm at the booth and to stay updated on when my meet and greet will be. Can't wait to see you all there. And don't forget to make sure you're subscribed to Snarled and the bell is turned on for notifications. And now, back to the show.
Hey, I'm Sapphire.
Want to hear something scary? House of Doon. The following is a story that Brooke's grandfather told her to warn her to never go near the House of Doon. When I was around 17 years old, I had a friend named Fraser. He was a bit of a daredevil, always taking risks and doing stupid stunts. He had no regard for his own safety. One night, me, Fraser, and our friend Ashley were hanging out, and Fraser mentioned the House of Doon, a house that was about a half-mile from the outskirts of the village. Generally, our town wasn't that superstitious, but there was something about that place that scared all the locals. So, obviously, we all fell silent and then tried to steer clear of the subject. But this really annoyed Fraser. "I wish people would stop acting like the house is so dangerous," he said. The thing was, none of us had actually ever gone near the house. Everything we knew about it was from the stories our parents told us. We didn't know why we had to avoid it. We just knew that we should. And Fraser wasn't the type of guy to follow the rules. "Let's put an end to this stupid superstition and spend the night there, together, right now." Me and Ashley shared a worried glance, but Fraser was very insistent. So, without any real intention of spending the night, we decided to follow Fraser to the house. We thought we could maybe talk him out of it. So we pull up to the garden of the house, packed with our sleeping bags and flashlights. The garden was completely overgrown. Plants were wrapping around the gate, the tarmac, and the house. The windows were shattered. The house was giving off an energy that, to this day, I still can't describe accurately. Sitting in that car, looking up at the bleak, desolate building, it was enough to make me come to my senses. We decided that this was a really bad idea and we should head home. All of us except Fraser. "You're really going to let fear control your lives?" he taunted us. "Everyone is afraid of this house and doesn't even know why. Don't you want to prove everyone wrong?" After about a half hour of arguing, Fraser realized he wasn't going to convince us and let us spend the night in the car, while he spent the night in the house alone. Before he went inside, he told us that he planned on staying in the attic. Every 15 minutes or so, he would bang on the attic wall facing the front yard to give us a sign that he was still okay. Then, at 8 a.m., he would return to the car. We wished him luck and watched as he confidently strutted into the house. We waited. About 5 minutes went by until we heard a thud coming from the attic. We saw the faint silhouette of an arm waving at us in the window. Relieved to know that he was still okay, me and Ashley got comfy in the car. But there was no way we were going to fall asleep. And just like Fraser promised, every 15 minutes or so, we'd hear the reassuring thud. It was now about 1 a.m. Me and Ashley were finally comfortable enough to slowly fall asleep. I wasn't sure how long I had been knocked out, but I woke up to the same thud sound, only it was a little bit faster. No longer every 15 minutes, but more like every 5 seconds. I wasn't sure why Fraser was pounding more frequently now, but as long as he was okay, it didn't really matter. I fell back asleep. I didn't wake up until the morning sun shone on my face. Ashley had also just woken up. It was past 8 a.m. in the morning, but Fraser hadn't come back to the car yet. Fraser was still pounding on the attic wall. We figured he was just showing off now, trying to prove to us that he could stay even longer in the house. But we really wanted to head back home now, and we weren't just gonna wait for Fraser to be ready to come down. "Hey, Fraser!" I shouted up at the attic. "You proved your point. It's time to go home now." Ashley and I had no choice but to go get him ourselves. Although the house was still fairly creepy in the morning, we felt a little braver, knowing that Fraser made it through the night. So we entered the house. There were footprints in the dusty floor that showed us Fraser's path. We followed it up the deteriorating staircase and to the attic, the thuds getting louder and louder as we got closer and closer. We opened the door. There was Fraser, hanging from the ceiling, his body swinging back and forth, and every 5 seconds, slamming into the wall. Thank you to all of our patrons, especially Ashley, who had a character named after them in this episode. If you'd like to join our VIP program, visit patreon.com/snarled. Want more Something Scary? You can hear more stories over on the Something Scary podcast, available for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. The links are in the description below. If you'd like to submit a story, send me an email at somethingscary@snarled.com. Like and share this video if it gave you the chills. And don't forget to subscribe to Snarled and turn on the bell for notifications. And if you dare, follow me on social media. Until next time, sweet dreams.